Hi everyone, my name is Emmy and I hope you're doing amazing. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you haven't, well, welcome to the channel. It is so nice to meet you. I haven't uploaded in a long time. Honestly, I have just not been doing amazing mentally. A lot of stuff happened. I got sick at work. A lot of things happened, and then Violette, my kitty, ooh, she also got sick. Let me put you aside so Violette can lay on the table. And it's just been so messy, but I'm here right now, and I wanted to talk about what I've been thinking about tonight, and that's the impact of social media on our mental health. I thought about doing some research and really having like this organized, scripted video, not scripted and like I have a text that I read off of, but like very like structured video. But I thought, you know what, I want to have a conversation with you and just open my heart to you and open my mind to you, so you know, let you in and hopefully maybe help you see or realize some things that I've realized. Am I making sense? Anyways, let's just get right into it. For context, and I think it's important I start with this, I have been doing social media cleanses for the past couple months. Not like regularly, but since 2026 started, I've been doing like every month I take a week off of social media, and I've noticed multiple things. So I'll start with that, and then I'll explain why I decided to start doing it. I guess I could do both meshed together because I feel like they go hand in hand. But first thing I noticed was my sleep got so much better. A little bit of a backstory, and I guess that's why I was saying it goes hand in hand. Since I've been a teenager, or since I've been a child, like a very young child, okay, I've been having lucid dreams. If you don't know what lucid dreams are, they are just dreams, but you're kind of awake or you're conscious in your dream. You're not just like a bystander, or just like your dream's not happening to you. You're like living in your dream, right? So you can like interact in your dream, and it might sound cool, and it is sometimes, but it is also very exhausting because I would have lucid dreams every night, right? And why I brought up teenagers, that when I became a teenager, I started having lucid nightmares, and that is absolutely terrifying because yes, you can interact, so you can start like running away or you can defend yourself, but then you have limits as to what you can do. So you'll start running, but you'll be very slow, or you'll try to punch, but your punch won't land. A lot of the things I experienced in my nightmares stood from or were connected to childhood trauma, but that's another video. If you would like me to talk about how I learned that my nightmares were connected to my childhood trauma, and how it could be something for you as well, a thing for you as well, and how I've discussed it with a professional, and they confirmed that it is a thing, especially for people who, like me, have PTSD and complex trauma. Yeah, if you want me to make a video about it, please let me know. I think it would be very interesting, and possibly very helpful to understand what's going on there. But yeah, anyway, so when I deleted social media, I noticed that after a few days, so it wasn't instant, like I deleted Instagram and I had the best night of my life, like the best night of sleep of my life, but let's say 4-5 days after deleting the apps, Instagram, TikTok, etc., social media, you know what it is, or you know what they are, I noticed that I had great sleep. It was very, very good sleep. Now, do I mean that I had zero dreams? Absolutely not. I still had dreams. It's just something that's part of me, and that's okay. I know that like very stressful periods can bring more dreams, or more disturbing dreams, or more lucid dreams, but they were less frequent and they were less lucid, right? Oh, someone's calling. Next thing I noticed is my body image got a lot better. I realized by scrolling that even though I really tried to curate my algorithm to having people that look like me, you know, bigger bodies, taller women, people who spread positivity, there would always be things sneaking in. So it wasn't that bad on Instagram. On TikTok is it's another can of worms, but it's yeah, Instagram, for example, it would be like, what's it called, like Ozempic ads, when I haven't been interacting with Ozempic things like at all, not talking about it, not interacting with stuff about Ozempic, but I would get a lot of ads. I would get a lot of here's how I lost 100 pounds, and it's like, I haven't been looking at like workout routines or meal plans, but it's shoving it down my throat, quite literally. I'm watching these beautiful big women dancing, doing their makeup, doing fashion hauls, walking around, doing vlogs, and then I have an ad for like weight loss supplement, and it's obvious why it's catered to people with bigger bodies. I guess my algorithm understood that I'm mid-20s women with a bigger body, so they're gonna shove it down my throat, because unfortunately I guess it's a big part of their clientele. I just noticed that not seeing weight loss supplements and Ozempic and how I lost 100 pounds, here's how my life is so much better because I'm skinnier, how it really, really did help with my body image, that like there's nothing wrong with me, like I'm living my life just like everybody else, I'm trying my best, and it's enough. But social media has this way of making you think that no matter what you do, it's never enough. Literally never enough. You're never good enough, you're never skinny enough, you're never pretty enough, you're never rich enough. That's a big thing. Also, I'm sorry, I have like a hiccup. Talking of rich enough, I noticed that my financial insecurity, and by that I mean I was insecure about not having a huge salary or not traveling the world and not having like this luxurious apartment. Deleting social media, I realized, well, yes, because what I've been consuming is people who go on vacation all the time, like travel influencers and these super rich celebrities, and again influencers who are so fortunate and to have everything they have and wealthy and rich. And so I'm looking at my tiny studio apartment, and I'm looking at this not only small studio apartment but old studio apartment and everything that's wrong with it, and I'm like, ugh, it's not fair. What am I doing wrong? Like, what's wrong with me? When there's nothing wrong with me. Like, I'm working a good job. Like, I'm fine. Like, I'm okay. I'm doing fine. It's not my fault that the economy's messed up and that I'm not as rich as these people who I don't know what they do and I don't know how they're getting their money. Anyways, that helped. And that's something I noticed. Another thing I noticed is just being more present and being more productive. What kind of I guess present, productive, and stable. I guess sometimes I would go on social media. I say I guess, but I know. I go on social media to just disconnect. To disconnect from reality, because like I said, there's a lot of stuff at work and me getting sick and Vila getting sick. I would just go on my phone and just numb my mind for hours on end. It was to an unhealthy amount. I'm talking about like 9 hours a day on my phone, and that is just not healthy. Like, mind you, I have a full-time job and I would still work, like still do my job, but then during my break and then right after work I would go straight into my bed and start scrolling, because I did not want to be here. I just wanted to numb my mind, and I didn't want to deal with what I had to deal with, meaning, why am I anxious, why do I feel so tired, why do I feel so claustrophobic? It's a small apartment, but of course if I leave it a mess, it's gonna feel a lot more stuff than someone who would do the same thing but would have a 2-bedroom apartment. Does that make sense? It just gets a lot more stuffed or stuffy. It gets stuffier quicker than someone with a big house. Does that make sense? Anyway, I didn't want to deal with that. I did not want to think about how I could make myself feel better. I just wanted to numb my mind. And I guess want is a strange word. I would just numb my mind instead, because that was the easiest thing to do, just to go scroll, right? I noticed that I've been spending less on clothes and makeup and stuff, because social media is truthfully mostly it's a big ad of stuff, right, of makeup and clothes and the new trend and the new trendy trend and the newer trend and the newer new trend, like it's just an endless amount of stuff that people are trying to sell you, and lifestyles that they're trying to sell you. I was talking about supplements earlier. I looked into getting supplements. And I notice again that taking a break from social media helped my impulses. I don't need a lot of stuff. I have a very small house and I have everything I need standing at 1'1" with the ears. I have a beautiful boyfriend that I love so much, and like, I'm good. I have enough stuff is what I'm trying to say, and I have enough wealth and the love that I get. I know what you want to see. There you go. That I don't need to buy more stuff. What else did I notice? Oh, my mental health. I can give you an example. Tonight, I was not on a cleanse. I was scrolling on social media and I'm watching funny videos. All day I've been on social media. I've been listening to it's like this mini series of a lady. She plays all these different characters and it's good. Like, I had it in the background and I was working and I was a little distracted. I'm not gonna lie and say like, oh, I can be 100% focused on two different things at the same time. So a little bit distracted, but I was listening to this thing and, whatever. All day I was just watching that. I was liking her videos and then was liking things about makeup and Zara Larson and, like girly stuff. And then I'm laying in bed earlier and I'm still scrolling, and it's a guy, he's an ex-convict, and he's talking about, I think he's answering questions. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It's always good to see like other people's point of view. I'm curious what a ex-convict would say about this question. The question was like, what's the craziest thing you experienced in prison, or something like that. Something similar. I'm like, ooh, like what happened, I mean, who knows? And this guy starts talking about, I don't want to get demonetized, but PDF files and how these monsters would brag in prison. And he started talking in very graphic details about what one of these PDF files told him, like one of their KINKS, and it was very graphic and it was very disturbing. And it's kind of like, and not kind of, it's exactly like that when you drive past an accident and you just can't look away. And it was very disturbing, and it really truthfully ruined my night. I did not want to see that. I did not need to hear that. And you will say, well, you can just scroll away. But what I just said about you drive past an accident and you look and you shouldn't, because you don't know what you're going to see, but you still look. You can't help. You can't look away. You're in shock, right? And I blocked that person, not because they didn't seem like a guy, but just because I can. And it was unhealthy to look at his content and very disturbing. I wish he had put a trigger warning. But I'm proud of myself that I'm able now to recognize when something like that is affecting me, and I can talk about it, and I can honestly say like, hey, here's what happened, here's how it impacted me, and it's very disturbing, and it's gonna take a little bit, but I'll get over it. But for now, like, I'm still very disturbed by what I saw, because before I would see stuff like that and I would kind of have this morbid curiosity, and I would keep watching stuff like that, go into rabbit holes, and just all this negative energy and disturbing information go straight into my spongy brain, and it would really affect the way I felt. And I need to speak in my higher register, like in my nose, because my voice going. So it's just sometimes I forget, but if my voice changed, that's why. I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to talk in my nose more. So that I noticed, and like I said, I thought about doing research, but I wanted to simply have a conversation. Now that, not that I wouldn't have been able to have one if I did do research, but I really just needed to talk, and I wanted to share how I felt without waiting, because if it can help someone make the decision to do social media cleanse, a social media cleanse, or social media cleanses, or simply delete social media altogether, I think it's worth it to do it now and not wait a second later. I never realized also how much like watching like scary stuff and disturbing stuff like true crime really impacted my mental health. I would find myself being or feeling scared and unsafe in my own home, and I think that's the worst thing you can do for yourself. You should feel at peace and relaxed and calm. Your home should be your haven, and I know unfortunately some of you can't have that because you live with certain people that are taking this away from you, and I'm really sorry, and please hold on. You will get your place in just a couple months, in just a couple years. Please wait, I promise. It was the same for me. It was not great at home, but I waited, and I was able to have my own place, and now I'm very, very happy. But going back to what I was saying, feeling unsafe in the only place in the world where you should feel the safest, and the only place in the world where it's yours, it's your haven, is probably one of the unhealthiest thing in the world. Genuinely, like the amount of stress it brings on you and anxiety, you should be able to be your true self in your home and not worry about someone hiding under your bed, or someone in your closet, or someone breaking through your door. You know, I told you about how I used to have lucid dreams. Well, I would watch like all these true crime stuff, like videos, and then I would have dreams that someone was gonna break through my door, and I mean my bed's there and my door's right there. There's nowhere for me to go. Like if I jump out the window, I'm gonna break my legs. I'm not gonna be like any safer. What I'm trying to say is I would get these dreams where even in my sleep I would feel scared, and then I would wake up and I would go on social media and consume all this true crime, and oh, here's this guy who stabbed someone on the street close to my house, and here's this other person, he ended a lot of people, and there was a SHOOTINJ there, and then it's so much negativity. And I know as women, a lot of women like to watch true crime because it makes you feel prepared, but I feel like there has to be a better way. There has to be a healthier way than terrorizing yourself every second of every day. If it's just, you know what, I have 1 hour per month where I can watch true crime, or I can look at the news. True crime is, look, I don't really like it, but I think it's disrespectful and really weird. Now that I'm a grown adult, my brain developed and I don't like it, but to each your own. Anyways, I have 1 hour a month where I can look at the news, and I can make sure that, if it's something that really makes you safe, or once a week I have like 15 minutes to take a look at the news, or it's just, there's so much going on all the time, and they never report on good things. I mean, the news. And true crime too, it's called true crime, it's not called good news of the day, right? It's not how to feel safer in your house. It's, here's this lady that got offed by this guy, and you know what, it was her husband, so you should be careful about your husband. What I'm trying to say is that, or what I'm getting at is that I'm really happy I started doing cleanses, and I want to do them more often, and I would maybe even think to completely delete TikTok. I think I don't want to go on TikTok anymore. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, the stuff on there. It's too much. The algorithm doesn't work. It's terrible. Instagram, I think what I've been doing 1 week per month is healthy, and you know what, maybe later it'll be 2 weeks, and maybe it'll be forever after that, but for now I feel like this has been working, and I highly recommend. And you know what, it is really freaking hard to do that. Like, it is really hard to delete the apps, because yeah, we're addicted to that serotonin or dopamine rush that we get when we find a funny video, or and you know what, if you like memes and you think it's so funny, or fails, or whatever you watch on social media, watch compilations on YouTube. Like, genuinely, at least you'll only get this type of video. Anyways, I think I've rambled for long enough. It's almost 30 minutes of me talking, but I hope you enjoyed this video. It felt really nice to come back and talk. And look, I'm not gonna promise I'm gonna update next week or in 2 weeks. I'm gonna respect my limits, and I'll see you in the next one. And if no one told you today, I love you. Please take care of yourself. Bye-bye.